You're listening to The Seventh Generation, sharing compelling stories today to inspire a flourishing tomorrow.
Could you just tell me a little bit about what you do as Special Advisor for Food and Tourism at Innovation Norway?
Yes, I work in Innovation Norway, and we are the government organization for innovation and development in different industries and sectors. And here I work on tourism, and I work specifically on the theme of sustainable tourism, how to develop increased sustainability in Norwegian tourism.
So what projects are you currently doing that you're particularly excited about?
Yes, we have the department I work in. They handle both tourism and specific food programs, especially those related to developing more local grown food, the use and distribution of local food, and how you connect and use local food in tourism for the tourism market also. So we are working on getting connections between local producers and tourism sector, hotels, events, restaurants, and so on. And we are also working on making those who use local food more visible as part of the national tourism website, Visit Norway. And our aim then is both to develop better tourism products, and food is a natural part of that.
Yes, and that's such an interesting point, the last point, because I've thought about just when it comes to local food in general, and like how you market and promote local food just to the general public, not just tourists. But I think especially when it comes to tourists, it's important to obviously present an inviting picture and give them something unique to gravitate to or hold on to. And in terms of promoting using the how do you think making these farmers and growers more visible helps to connect tourists rather to Norway's local way of life?
Of course, you have different forms of agriculture. Parts of it is more mass production, big scale, and it might not be the one we really want to present or showcase when it comes to tourism. But then you also have especially in Norway, we have a lot of smallholders. We have a lot of small producers throughout the country, and as a very important part of their living and ability to create more values is to create all these kind of niche products, bring up old recipes and such things that also is part of our history and identity. So in that sense, it is very important that we also use this as an important part of tourism, because if you go to a country, you would like to eat the local food, not a general food or food from other countries that might be more trendy,
yes,
or whatever.
Of course.
It
yes.
is part of the national identity. It is products that are naturally grown there and is seasonal and has less transport, less negative impact on the environment.
And related to that, you brought up obviously the other side, which is just as important of the equation, which is the farmers themselves, and how, not only do we depend on the growers for our food, but they obviously have to support their own livelihood. So, like, have you seen as much growth or benefits to the farmers themselves, the producers themselves, as you would like from this program, or is that something you're still working towards to continue to make sure the benefits, go financial and otherwise, go to the farmers?
I think for in Norway, at least, we have had a rural or a regional policy through many years, who is also seen in the agricultural policy, on the politics on, and supporting systems on agriculture. So we have kind of supported smallholders. We have had a strong will to protect agriculture throughout the country, and I think it is a lot of programs directed towards making it livable and economically livable to be a smallholder, to be a long way from Oslo.
Yes.
And different programs. It's a lot of different programs that is aimed on increasing the use of local food. So it's not only what we are working on in sustainable tourism.
Mm-hmm.
It is also from the agricultural authorities, from the environmental authorities, from the food authorities. So it's
Yes.
a lot of different both funding and programs and training that goes towards ensuring agriculture throughout the country and ensure that they have a market for their production.
Yes, and that's so wonderful that to hear that, because obviously not everywhere, not everywhere in the U.S. I would particularly like to see more support of local farmers. Although it's done and it's getting better, but it seems like there's much more much more of a deliberate effort in Norway to help the local food market in general, and specifically farmers. So that's really good to hear. I guess also related to that, I guess more generally about connecting tourists to the broader culture, not just food. What are the most important aspects of Norwegian culture that you try to immerse the tourists in and get them to really participate in as part of Innovation Norway?
I think we have that could be different aspects, but Norway has a very nature-based tourism product.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no doubt we are seen as a very strong on nature. The nature is very strong. It's diverse. It's inhabited all the country, but still it's a lot of nature. And I think some of the things we would like to invite our tourists and guests to be part of is part of our use of nature. And I don't mean overuse, but a nice use of nature. We have very strong nature use traditions.
Mm-hmm.
We are walking, trekking, cycling, paddling. We have second homes out up in the mountains or down by the sea. The children are skiing from they were born almost, maybe more earlier than now, but still we are. I think part of our identity is the use of nature, a positive use of nature, both for health and for meditation, whatever. And I think this is something that we quite actively want our guests to take part in. But of course, it's also other things of traditions and culture. But I think this
Yes.
this careful use of nature is
Yeah. Oh, yes.
most important.
And I definitely I do see that when I'm looking at the websites and just when I'm looking at the marketing materials. So I guess I don't know how much more time you have. I just had a couple more questions, but I don't know if I don't want to take up. Okay. So I guess a couple other. My next question would be, I guess more specifically about the certifications, because that looked very interesting. And can you tell me more about what Innovation Norway does to act as kind of the intermediary or to promote the effective use of these certifications among various types of businesses and other people in Norway?
We started to work on for tourism in Norway. Certifications has been quite important and seen as a part of making environmental actions quite visible and quite tangible in a way. So we have had quite a lot of hotels, for instance, hotel chains. The different like the Nordic Choice or Scandic or whatever, who has all been certified. So in some cities in Norway you can find 80, 90 up towards 100% of certified hotels, accommodation, rooms and beds. and then we have also so this is still quite important and a lot of enterprises are working on this. Innovation Norway, in some areas, some regions, they provide some funding and incentives for the businesses to start to work towards certifications. We try to cooperate with the different certification schemes that work on single enterprise environmental certification and labels. Then on the other hand, we have built up together with the tourism industry certification, or we call it a label with a standard on destinations. So we work also with tourism destinations that is maybe up towards 200 single enterprises gathered in one geographical destination, aimed at the same marketing channels. They build a brand, and for that destination we work on making them or enabling them to monitor, manage and work towards sustainable tourism. So they do analysis, they gather all the information, they build an action plan, they involve the inhabitants and the industry and the local government in building plans for reaching a goal on sustainability in tourism. So some of these destinations, they find that they have to work more on local food, for instance. Some of them work on internal transport and put their focus there, but they all have to deliver analysis on guest satisfaction, energy use, water consumption, cultural assets, and so on. They have 108 indicators they have to monitor and deliver. That's part of it.
That's.
And at the moment we have close to 20 destinations working on it, and many more are entering the program.
Wow, that's incredible. That's very good to hear. I guess have you found that you were able to go back to these labels or certifications and say, here are some lessons that we learned, or these are some things that we found aren't quite working, at least for Norway or certain places in Norway, and give some recommendations to them? Did you do anything like that of any kind?
Yes, a part of the auditing is also giving a report back to see where do you score, where are you good, where should you put
Right.
your focus, and but destinations are very diverse, and it all comes down to the people.
Yes.
I think so. The people operating the DMO or the people operating the local businesses, it all goes back to them.
Yes.
But I think the labels
Yeah.
and the certification gives a kind of a tool or an agenda or an action plan to work on.
Yes.
So they say that they have a better local cooperation with the local authorities, for instance, because they have a common agenda.
Yeah.
They have to deliver on certain things and have gained a platform where it is partly easier to cooperate. But still we have a very long way to go to say that we do things very good. But this is an ongoing process.
And do you have like specific goals when it comes to various metrics of your sustainability program, whether it's energy or food or whatever it is? Do you have specific goals, that you quantify? And if so, I guess, how do you make sure you keep raising the standard rather than just resting on your previous accomplishments?
The standard for destinations, and it is the same, and even more so in the certifications for single enterprises, because they can look at the numbers in another way when it comes to one enterprise and what is possible at a larger destination level. But we score, and you have to show results over time. So we do a new measurement every third year, and every year they have to deliver 10 indicators. Yes. So we will see, and the score refers to if there is any progress or results or not, and they need to come up on a certain score to be able to get recognized. So we have tried to build into the system a way to quantify development where possible, and to say that you score and need a higher score the next time you get an assessment. And I work specifically